Love that. That's really powerful. So a lot of this is kind of predicated, Tom, on having that existing relationship, right, with the existing client, which is
Yeah.
what the new book is about. What would you say to those who don't yet feel they have that relationship with someone? Maybe they've been kind of prospecting, they've been having a bit of reach outs, not a lot of success in actually sitting down at the table with someone, but they want to find out more about their budget so that they can provide some ideas and some potential ways to serve and support them. What advice would do you offer to professional services firms that want to essentially generate more quote unquote leads, more opportunities to have conversations with people that they don't yet have relationships with? Like, what's working best to kind of get a seat at the table?
Yeah. So I have a bunch of thoughts on this. One is, I think, narrow cast, right? So shrink the pond. Be number one in your pond. You don't want to go to the world. I mean, you're in the training, consulting, and coaching business, the education business, and you have shrunk the pond, Michael, to just focus on people in professional and consulting services firms. And so that means you're not focused on helping retailers do a better job of reaching out to customers and selling more shoes. Sure. And so by delimiting what your stated area of expertise is, your domain, you're able to sort of niche yourself and create a brighter identity, one that's memorable. Oh yeah, there was this guy that does coaching for consulting firms. It's the Savitsky cousins. They were cousins. I remember they were cousins. Yeah, and they're in Canada. Anyway, they can find you that way because they know who you are. So I think that's the first thing, is stop trying to boil the ocean. Figure out where you've sold 2 or 3 projects well and where the through line on the story is. We did some work for a mining company in Nevada. Then we did one in a mining company in Edmonton. I think we sort of have the right to sort of reach out to other CFOs of mining companies in North America. Let's figure out a list of those folks. Oh, there are only 200 of them. What's the function that we sell into? Well, sometimes the CEO knows somebody and we get in that way, but really it's the chief supply chain officer that pulls the trigger on what I do. So let's figure out the names of the 200 chief supply chain officers of the top mining companies and set ourselves the objective of getting to know them over the course of time. I think that's the biggest single piece of advice that I would give people is niche sharply, invest in the conversation, give without expectation of return to that limited community, just like you're doing, Michael, right? You're giving this podcast, you're giving your expertise to the community you most want to serve. And in that way, you're elevating yourself not only as an expert, but as a bee that's cross-pollinating best practices between all the work that we do in the world of consulting.
Yeah. And